So I'll just give you a bit of background as to our history and where we started to where we are now. So we were established in 2015, initially in Cardiff, actually, with the aim of just filling the gap in provision seen in African communities, primarily in Wales and in the UK. So I think after 1 or 2 years, we then moved our offices to Swansea, which is now the main location, even though our work covers Southwest Wales. So essentially, since we launched, we've expanded our mission and our vision to ensure that we meet the aims of all BAME groups, not limiting it to African groups only, and hence all our work at the moment predominantly supports anyone from any ethnic minority background. So we focus on integration services and guidance for particularly refugees and asylum seekers. And then that then ties into the entrepreneurship support. So for those that want to start their own businesses and already have an idea, then employment support, as well as assisting people with access to education or training, or them gaining an additional qualification. So currently, we focus on providing holistic support to our service users. So we've got various activities that aim to tackle the different aspects that people may have challenges in their lives. So, for example, I think in COVID, you've realized food poverty has been one of the main things that have been highlighted for specific groups that are maybe less fortunate than others. So for that, we've developed a food bank delivery project that just aims to deliver food to homes of the individuals that we serve. So it's not only then helping them in that professional progression, but also tackling other areas in their lives that may be lacking in one way or another. So essentially, we've got a lot going on at the moment, and we just help to just ensure that people thrive in their lives, basically. I guess I've kind of already touched on this, but then for us, even though our focus is on the professional development side, hence the entrepreneurship, employment, education, and training, even though we focus on that professional side, we then use the holistic approach in everything that we do. So that's tackling other aspects of people's lives that may be limiting them or making it a little bit more difficult for them to access all these other opportunities that they could be accessing. So for example, I'll give again another example of one of the other projects that we have at the moment. It's called New Leaf, and it works with ex-offenders in the BAME community, aiming to help them start getting back into employment after maybe their probation is over, or maybe they're still on probation, or just have been recently released from prison. So for that, as you may know already, offenders or ex-offenders may have a lot of maybe mental health conditions or mental health issues that they may be going through at that moment. So we've got caseworkers that work with them on a one-to-one basis to sort of address that well-being aspect. And once they're in a better place in terms of their mindset and their well-being, only then can they be ready to access the employment opportunities that might come along their way. So I think that is one of the main distinctive features we have. And again, for us, I think generally around our area, most people do just tend to work or focus on asylum seekers, and there would be less support for refugees, i.e. at the point where people then get their status. So we also work directly, at that point, once they've been granted status, but at this point they have no idea where to start. All the different letters are now coming from maybe the council and whatever it is. So we then help in that integration process where it's really crucial to then access the different services that we have. And if we don't have that, then we also work with another network. So that just leads me on to the next point of us being really connected within the Swansea area as well as the South Wales area. I think one of our pillars is we believe in collaborative working, and us not being able to achieve everything by ourselves, and hence we've got a really good network of support providers all around us that will help us provide that extensive service for the people that need it the most. So I guess I'll start with our service users, because essentially we are there because of them. Generally, again, these are issues that are probably common with all BAME user groups all around the UK, but just being unheard and service provision that's around not being tailored to their specific needs. So because of that, that's why we are here to sort of help be that bridge, and be able to give that additional provision that's seen in support that's already around. People that have come from other places and migrated to the UK would have additional needs because they've got maybe additional support requirements, for example, language. And sometimes the service that's available may not cater to that. And we just aim to provide that sort of additional support that helps tackle these additional things. So there's also them being disproportionately affected by a lot of other things. For example, I guess I'll speak specifically for entrepreneurs. Even though this is something that we are even constantly trying to work on, there's already negative connotations when it comes to sometimes working with BAME groups. For example, they are less likely to get a loan from the bank if it is to start a business or whatever it is, just because of either the negative connotations or as well them having limited education when it comes to certain aspects in terms of financial education and financial progression. So again, we also then work to sort of try to address these things by advocating for that better support from big institutions, but also working to increase education for our groups, again, because, they have come from different places in the world where they are not used to maybe the UK system, and we are trying to then address that for them. So then looking at the challenges that we face as an organization, I would say as many other charities, we would always be wanting to get more funding and needing more funding for us to be able to reach as many groups as we can and support as many people that need our services as we can. So that would be the main challenge. And part of it as well would be us reaching groups that are not only in South Wales, but reaching groups that are beyond the borders that we're currently working at the moment. I think would want to grow to become a charity that works across the whole of the UK, really. So I think just having the right then links and connections to be able to reach those different groups that would want to reach in different places would be one thing that I would want to do as well.